the next, before going to the next section, let me just share with the audience what the next section is all about. Yeah, so we'll explore her ability to sing classical or rag-based songs. I'm really privileged here to be, sitting here and sharing or enjoying these songs together with this very erudite group. But this particular section really gives me a lot of pride and joy to talk about. Dr. Rao mentioned about how Shiv Kumar Sharma, Hari Prasad Chaurasia, Rais Khan have played for the song Baharo, Mera Jeevan Bhi Sawaro. I have been staying in Bombay for the past 27 years and I've had the fortune of meeting quite a few musicians. And every time you ask them about any memorable recording incident, the very first name, without any exception, is लता जी का वो गाने में मैं ये बजाया था तो उन्होंने ये तारीफ किया था वो तारीफ किया था. She is really a benchmark, absolutely a benchmark. Mohe Panghat Pe Nandlal, the song that we just heard in the last Timeless Classics medley. This is a traditional bandish. There are recorded versions available of Indu Bala Devi, Azmat Hussain Khan. Let me assure you, both their versions are very good, but nothing sounds as sweet as the one that we hear in Mughal-e-Azam. And it is not because of just the honey-dipped voice, it's because of the technical virtuosity and the finesse and the skill that she brings into this kind of renditions. Classical-based songs, all of us in the 80s and 90s used to see these HMV compilations which had classical-based Hindi film songs, and out of the say 18 or 24 odd songs, more than 50% would have been Lata Mangeshkar's. Every composer, when they compose a nice classical based song, the first singer that they think about is Lata Mangeshkar. In classical based songs, there are two types of rag based songs that one really envisages. We hear them in Sangeet Saritas. One is a film song based on a film situation, but it's based on a rag. Say a romantic song, and the composer thought that, let's say, Chupa Lo You Dil Mein Mera. It's a romantic song in Mamta, but the song is based on Rag Yaman. There's another type of classical song which has got things like tans and murkis, which are these technical ornamentations of classical music. That is where I think this lady excels like nobody else. So this medley that we're going to play will have several songs which really exhibits the technical virtuosity. उनका जो गले का जो तैयारी बोलता है, क्या तैयारी है उनका, that will be there. We'll start with a time-tested song based on Rag Jai Jawanti in Ektal, Mana Mohana Bade Jhoote. She feels it's one of her favorite songs. We'll bookend or we'll end this medley with another Ektal-based song. That's a little rare one, but it's worth a listen. Alright, enjoy this medley. There are some Rag-based songs, like songs where the Rag is incidental, the situation is more important. You can hear how beautifully she sings. And there are some songs where you can see her or hear her technical virtuosity. Let's enjoy this one.
Alright, here we go. Okay, that was Rajesh Khanna working slightly overtime. Trying to...
So I did mention that we will play the entire medley together, but I'm happy that it was paused. The last song, as I said, is once again a song in Drut Ektal from the movie Sautela Bhai. It's based on Rag Adana Bahar, and this is like a Chota Khayal. And there is nothing wrong with the way she sings the song. I do not think anybody in our subcontinent would have pulled that off the way she has sung the song. We wanted to play the full song. We truncated it by one stanza. Feel free to go and listen to it at home on YouTube and see how, just barely a pause in the song. She emotes, she gives the right expression of a tawaif or a mujra song, and yet some of the tans that she takes, some of the murkis that she executes, it's just brilliant. I mean, there's no other, we run short of superlatives while describing this song. Let's enjoy this.
That's the beauty of Lata Mangeshkar, the versatility that she's shown, a classical singing prowess as well.
Just one small point which came to mind with Raina Biti Jai. There are so many songs in our films where the hero, as yet who hasn't seen the heroine, is first drawn to her because of her voice. And there are so many examples of this. Apart from Raina Biti Jai, there is Satyam Shivam Sundaram or Sparsh. The first song in Sharafat, when Dharmendra is not able to see through the mists and Hema Mali singing in the distance. There is even a song in a film called Do Dil, where Rajeshri is doing a kind of a forest romp and Biswajit is only attracted by her voice. Or even a similar situation in Shagird, Ruk Jaye Hawa, where Joy Mukherjee is only drawn by the voice even before meeting the heroine. So the common thread which I found in all these songs is that such a voice for the audience to believe that this story line could happen had to be the voice of Lata Mangeshkar. You will be probably hard pressed to find this situation where they have used Asha Bhosle or Suman Kalyanpur. Nothing wrong, I'm not saying anything negative about them, but the choice by default would have to be Lata Mangeshkar. Of course, in Satyam Shivam Sundaram, the anguish was compounded when he realized that the beauty was only in the voice and not in the features, but that's a different story.
So, I would like to add one more point here to the classical prowess, and this comes from a legend called Kumar Gandharv. He had written an essay on Lata Mangeshkar, why she is a legend, in 1986, and that essay is now part of NCERT 11th class. Why Lata Mangeshkar is a legend. That's Kumar Gandharv writing about Lata Mangeshkar, and he gives a lot of technical justifications why Lata is a legend. But एक उनका वो जो था वो हिंदी में था, तो I would like to quote a small part from that. तो he says कि अगर हम सुनने वाले से लता मंगेशकर और क्लासिकल म्यूजिक में से कौन सा गाना सुनना पसंद होगा तो लता मंगेशकर को सेलेक्ट करेगा, क्योंकि उसका जो गानपन है, जो एक सुरीलापन है, वो जो लता के पास है शायद क्लासिकल म्यूजिशियंस के पास नहीं, उनके पास स्किल्स है. देन ही सेड कि श्रोताओं को, जो हमारी ऑडियंस है, सुनने वालों को जिस पीक में ले जाने में, जिस कनेक्शन के लिए, उनको आनंद देने के लिए हमें एक पर्टिकुलर हमारा एक आर्क है, जो हम एक द्रुत पे, एक पीक पे करीब आधे घंटे बाद पहुंचते हैं एक परफॉर्मेंस में, लाइव परफॉर्मेंस में, जब हम एक्चुअल उसको एक एक्सटेसी का फॉर्म देते हैं. लता मंगेशकर जो काम करने में हमें 30 मिनट्स 35 मिनट्स लगते हैं, लता मंगेशकर वो 3.5 मिनट में कर देती है. That's a validation.
As Doctor was mentioning that, very fine musical artists have been extremely happy and proud to play with her. Ustad Ali Akbar Khan has played with her on at least 2 songs that I know of. Anna Lal Ghosh has played with her. Abdul Halim Jafar Khan has played with her. Ram Narayan has played that. Man Mohan Bade Jhote. Ram Narayan has played the sarangi in that song. I remember watching or witnessing one book launched by Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma in Bombay. It's one of his biographies, where he mentions that R.D. Burman forced him to play the tabla for the song Mose Chal Kiye Ja from Guide. And so that story is well documented. But what is not perhaps documented, and I heard him say that sitting right in front of him, is कि मैं तो राजी हो गया क्योंकि एक तो पंचम बोल रहा है, दूसरा लता जी का गाना है, बजाऊं तो अच्छा ही होगा. So that is the kind of sentiment that ran through all these great musicians, that this lady is at the top of her skills, at the top of her art, and she basically elevates the status of film music to real art form, and she's perhaps the most important member in elevating the status of Hindi film music to an art form. So these kind of music is absolutely intoxicating. So you want to carry on this strain of intoxication?
Yes, we'll carry on the strain of intoxication. But before that, it was Hariprasad Chaurasia. He mentioned many artists who played along with great musicians. So the flute that you hear in Raina, which is the last song.
The santoor also is played by Shiv
Kumar Sharma, and the flute by Hariprasad Chaurasia.
We have a section on that.
We'll have a section on
with collaborations. But we talk about intoxication. So from classical music, let's see how Lata Mangeshkar can intoxicate us with her voice. Okay, that was just an example. We wanted to take you out from one direction to the other, from classical to. She's also done these kind of songs. But watch out for another very popular Helen song that will come up during the course of the show later on, which also has a Goa connection, which some of you must have probably figured out by now. Helen, Goa, Lata Mangeshkar. Which is that song. So that will come up later. But let's move to the next section now. It is again called Timeless Beauties. And there are some lovely songs here. Any introduction to that, or shall we just play them first? Okay, we'll just play them first. Nice to end with the ultimate Valentine's Day song, Pyar Kiya To Darna Kya. Okay, since we saw Wahida Rehman a couple of times on screen, I must tell you all that talk, sometime in the early 70s when he was in college, he managed to get Wahida Rehman, she was shooting in Goa, incidentally, for one of their college functions as a chief guest. Not college, school.
So we had a small music group even those days, and we wanted to do something for the Bangladesh Relief Fund, and we didn't know how to draw an audience because we were virtually unknown and completely penniless. But she was in the Mandovi Hotel and she actually entertained us and agreed to come. So we managed to do a bit. Of course, nothing to do with Lata Mangeshkar, just an anecdote.
Yes, but you had something to, you told us about the beginning of the first song, Kaanton Se Kheech Ke Aanchal. So that has a story.
This, as you probably know, that when originally released on the 78 RPM records, sometimes bits were omitted in the film and you can get to see or hear an additional stanza or some tidbits which are not in the film version. So in this particular case, there's actually a few bars of a guitar strumming, and Lata sings Kaanton Se Kheech Ke Aanchal as an alap slowly, and then the part which you see and hear in the film appears. So my guess is that because Vijay Anand wanted to depict her bursting into song in spontaneity, he didn't want to have the slow part in it. But the full version is there on Archie's YouTube channel. Please look for it.
Can I add something to it?
Yes, please.
So, for me, cinema is something beyond entertainment. It's a part of popular culture, and film songs of our times are folk songs. These are the songs of common people. So, this song, Kaanton Se Kheech Ke Aanchal, there's a social, socio-political, socio-economical context to that song, and how that connects to Lata Mangeshkar. This is an anthem for women empowerment, the independent voice of women. If you have seen the film, Wahida has a failed marriage and she just wants to break free from that, and somehow she got a freedom to go at a place, and then she takes Devanand to the घुंघरू का बाजार कि मुझे घुंघरू खरीदने हैं, तो घुंघरू खरीदती है पूरे बाजार में. She walks like she is drunken, and even Devanand is ashamed to walk with her, and but she is free. She is a free soul, and then she asks कि चित्तौड़ चलोगे क्या? तो then on the way to the चित्तौड़ they got into a truck क्योंकि और कुछ उनके पास कुछ है नहीं, and on that truck रास्ते में जो भी जा रहा है किसी का मटका लेके फोड़ रही है, किसी का रास्ते में वो गिरा रही है. She is totally free. So one reason this song breaks the barrier, because it starts from stanza, not the mukhra. It also breaks that pattern of mukhra and stanza, because Kaanton Se Kheech Ke Aanchal is the stanza. Now, that is a song of women's empowerment, and Lata Mangeshkar is the biggest icon or the biggest ambassador of that. Because, see, she didn't marry, she didn't have a successful man behind her. That is first thing. She ruled an industry which was dominated by males, where females were not treated properly. But she made sure to have that respect for females. And so she actually became that role model for a lot of females of 60s, 70s, 80s. In fact, my mother, my aunts, they all learned music just because they wanted to sing like Lata Mangeshkar. A lot of you, I believe, must have must have been influenced by Lata Mangeshkar singing to become a singer. So that is how she became a kind of a model for a society, for female independence, for women empowerment, and till the end of her life, till the last breath she took on this earth, she ruled, ruled and ruled. All music directors, all actors, or everybody was, I was told by Gulzar Saab that they were, if Pancham and Gulzar had made some mistake during recording, so they were frightened to go to her and ask her, can she re-record? That kind of command she had in the industry. Even people like R.D. Burman, Gulzar, they respect her to that extent.